You may know Joe Satriani for being a guitar virtuoso, known for his legato, tapping, harmonics, and experimental effects. But what you might not know is that earlier in his career, Joe Satriani actually taught some of the greatest guitarists alive today. It's possible that Joe Satriani is among the most accomplished guitar instructors of all time, when you consider the outcome of his students. Let's take a look at some of the most notable. At the age of 12, Steve Vai showed up to Satriani's house in Long Island with a guitar in hand and no strings attached. Joe Satriani was about 14 or 15 at the time. He actually took lessons from Joe Satriani alongside a friend because he couldn't pay the $5 lesson fee that Joe was charging. According to Satriani, he had everything you would hope for in a student: great ear, great timing, and great hands, and more importantly, an unbelievable desire and drive to learn the instrument. So he was very fun and easy to teach. He took lessons from him for 3 years, and of course he went on to do incredible things in the guitar world. Since their time together as a student and teacher, they've collaborated on many occasions, and it was the start of a legendary guitar friendship. Another famous student of Joe Satriani was Primus guitarist Larry LaLonde. According to LaLonde, he found Joe Satriani quite intimidating because at this point, Joe Satriani was quite established locally and was known as an incredible guitar player. But apparently he lucked into the opportunity because he just signed up for guitar lessons, and when he showed up, it was Joe. He claims that it was kind of mystifying to watch Joe Satriani play, as he incorporated so many different techniques, some of which LaLonde claimed he really hasn't seen since he was taking lessons from Satriani. LaLonde contributes a lot of his success to his initial relationship with Joe Satriani, claiming that he really wouldn't be where he was without learning from him. Another notable student of Satriani was metal guitarist Alex Skolnick, from Testament, formerly known as Legacy. He was learning from a few other guitarists, and he felt like he was going to surpass them in skill level, so he wanted to go up a level and learn from who they had learned from, and that's what led him to Joe. Similar to Larry LaLonde, Skolnick claims that it was quite intimidating to learn from Satriani. All he knew about him was that he took his music very seriously, and that if you didn't do your homework as a student, he would let you go. Years after he had taken the lessons, Joe Satriani had made it big, but before that he was just a local legend, and him becoming such a big star really enhanced Skolnick's career in tandem. Similar to how other guitarists would seek out Satriani after hearing about him, so did Kirk Hammett of Metallica back in 1981. And again in this case, Satriani's seriousness was apparent, as one of his first lessons from him was to learn what he needed to learn and to not waste his time or anyone else's time. He took lessons from him for about a year, and then it kind of morphed into more of a mentorship role. As Hammett took on the role with Metallica, Satriani would guide him through how to navigate Metallica's music. Particularly, Kirk Hammett claims that Satriani walked him through how to nail Ride the Lightning. And this wasn't the only time. Apparently he taught him how to solo through some of the more complex chord progressions, and deciphering key changes, and navigating how to approach a solo on songs like that. This is another relationship that has proven to be fruitful for the guitar world over the years, as the mentorship and friendship has created some great moments and collaborations. A different style of musician, but also one of Satriani's students, was Charlie Hunter, who was known more for jazz than the other metal guitarists mentored by Satriani. The story goes that in Berkeley, California, Charlie Hunter walked into a secondhand guitar shop and walked out a student of Joe Satriani. Not many people actually believe that Hunter was a student of Satriani because of their vastly different styles and techniques. This just goes to show how good of a teacher Satriani is, and really speaks to his legacy of instructing the next generation of great guitarists. He was not limited to teaching one style or genre. He simply taught people how to play the guitar, and not necessarily in a here's a C chord and here's a D chord kind of way. Rather, he was able to tell people, here's a piece of wood with strings on it. Do whatever you want with it. And that simple approach led to the development of some of the most talented guitarists of the modern era.